Welcome everybody. This is Marty Uren and John Wathen for the North American Grand Prix Thursday night GT Series. This is our second race. How you doing, John? Well, qualifying is already underway. Appears that John stepped away for a minute. So we have a 30.
Oh, there we go. I got you, Marty.
You got, okay, there you go. How you doing, John?
Doing well. Doing well. Excited. Should be a good race.
Yeah, these guys have been putting in a lot of practice. This is the second race of the season. We're at Interlagos in Brazil, what I would characterize as a proper Grand Prix track.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite tracks. I've always enjoyed racing.
Yeah, here's a look at the track map, showing the first sector in red and the second sector in yellow, third sector in blue. What the map doesn't really show is that that third blue sector is all uphill. So the high horsepower cars are definitely going to shine through that section. But then you get down into the second sector there around turns 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Very slow, very twisty, and because the track is laid out on natural terrain, there's lots of elevation changes just to make it interesting. Let's see if we can pick up one of our drivers here for a lap around the track in their qualifying run. Give you a sense of what it looks like from behind the wheel.
You got me, Mark?
Yeah, I got you, John. You hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you every once in a while, though I don't. It's like you're push to talk or your mic's not picking up ventrilo. You're going out on the broadcast, but I can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Unless I have the broadcast on, which is delayed. I just heard that, so I think we're okay as long as you use your push to talk or mic a little bit more sensitive or closer to you.
All right, well let's try this again. This is we're taking a lap here with Moses Calabano in the C7 Corvette. He's just on his out lap, preparing for a flying lap for his qualifying time. As you can see, he's struggling a bit on cold tires. Not a problem on the out lap.
He's also carrying a lot of weight, so I don't expect him to be very quick at all, although he was very quick last week.
Now he's heading up the front straight, all uphill through here, approaching start finish for his first timed qualifying lap. Past start finish. Starting downhill, turn 1. Very tricky. You have to keep it nice and tidy. Use the curbs, and out onto the second long straightaway. Yeah, we do have penalties for cutting the track. So the basic rule is that the drivers need to keep one wheel inside the curbing on all turns. Otherwise, after I believe in this track at this distance, 5 cuts is your 6th cut gives you a. Is it a 1 lap penalty or is it a time penalty?
Yes.
1 lap, yeah.
No, it'd be one lap on your 6th cut at any turn.
Yeah, these are real tight, slightly banked second gear turns, so the heavier cars really struggle. Uphill to the last turn onto the straightaway. Very critical turn, very tricky.
Yeah, that's a key. To get out of that turn very well because you're carrying a lot of speed up the hill for a long way.
Yeah, so the sooner you get on the gas out of that turn, the more speed you're going to be carrying. Looks like Moses got 18th position on his first try. I'm sure he'll improve on that. Right now we see Ian Joliceour at the top of the chart, showing a fastest lap of a 1:31.654.
Yeah, looking good for Ian. He's a guy who didn't race last week, and he's just taken on a sub-roll this season. And he happened to find a ride in a Porsche today.
Like Ferrari driver there doing a little agricultural racing.
There's plenty of grass around this track, so I'm sure that's going to happen.
Oh, and it appears he tangles with his teammate. 2 green Ferraris not playing well. Well, I've never seen anybody try to warm their tires up on the grass before, but I guess it's the first time for everything. We've got just under 15 minutes left in our qualifying session here to set the grid for the race. Who's up?
Looks like Walters is in 2nd place. 2/10 off of Ian's time.
Yeah, the gaps are starting to, time gaps are starting to close up as everybody's getting their best effort in here.
And Andrew Werner in 3rd. I expect he can go a little quicker than that. He's put in a ton of laps along with his teammate David Poole in the Lamborghinis. And Andrew is very fast in practice.
Well, the one thing we won't have this week that last week's Enduro had was a difference in pit strategies due to some cars getting significantly better gas mileage than others. So tonight we should see 1 pit stop for fuel and probably tires for everyone.
Yes, that is true. Some of the better fuel-saving cars might be able to shave a couple of seconds off of the pit stops, but yeah, they'll all be taking one load of fuel at the stop and a full set of tires. Top 5 right now are Ian Joliceour, Martin Walters, Andrew Werner, John Ludden, and David Poole. And they're all separated by 0.8 of a second.
I'm not seeing Ronnie Nunez out there tonight. He was the winner at our last race at Bathurst.
That's correct. I don't see him on the server. He was practicing last night, so hopefully he'll make it. Maybe he's just running a little late.
Or the crew ran into some issues with the car, and he may be out later. Hopefully he can make the start of the race. Yeah, so far Ian Joliceour has a 0.2 of a second cushion to Martin Walters. So we've got 10 minutes to go here for everyone to get their best effort in. So anything can happen. And Brad Mary just put in his best lap at a 132.6 for 7th place. And his teammate Al Merrimont right behind him at a 132.7, driving those gorgeous new Ford GTs.
They're gorgeous from the front. I don't know about the back. A few women I know.
I quite like it from any angle, but then I'm a Ford guy. What can I say?
Viewers that tuned in for the Monday race might recognize Alex White. He's making his debut in this in the Thursday league this season. It looks like he's driving an Audi. He was the winner last week. Looks like we've had a player kicked from the server, and it must be for a connection issue. Ivan Verano has been removed from the server. I heard he was having some issues earlier in practice, so it must have gotten so bad that Al had to remove it.
Well, Ivan was the one that was trying to warm his tires in the grass after coming to grief with the other green Ferrari. So we'll have to get the full story on that issue after the race. No, that's never good. Trying to get in your best lap, and you got a gaggle of cars coming out of the pits.
No, that's part of it, though. Trying to find yourself a nice gap on track.
Yep, along with the luck of the draw.
Looks like we got Mike Trussler out there. He's another that he's raced with us before, and I believe this is going to be his first race with us on Thursday. He's driving, looks like he's subbing for one of the Aston drivers. Looks like John McIntyre's not here.
Yeah, it looks like we got a pretty full field here tonight. We're following Aaron Parsons' Lamborghini around at the moment. He finished second at the Bathurst race last week and had led quite a bit of the way, but fell victim to his rather thirsty, powerful Lamborghini and had to make an extra pit stop over the winning Ferrari. Which also means that Aaron will be carrying a second place success ballast.
That is right. He's carrying 30 kilos. Martin Walters is 20, and if Ronnie shows up, he's carrying 40.
Well, if Ronnie Nunez doesn't make this race, that 40 kilos is not going to go away. There we go. Now we're showing the sector times on the left of your screen. And when you see one of the three sectors go green, it means that that driver is up on the best time for that sector. Strong indication that he's if he maintains that pace, he can improve his position as it's currently shown. Andrews got that back end a little too loose there. He's got another.
Yeah, I was watching that.
Yeah, just under 2 minutes or under 3 minutes to go here, so they're coming up to their last available effort here to make it count. not seeing very many improvements. Looks like everybody's pretty much put in their best effort here. John Ludden is green in the first sector, but it's 0.0. Aaron Parsons is I believe he took 10th place with that last lap. Obviously, that second place success ballast is affecting his ultimate pace, but speed isn't everything in the race. It's all about consistency and racecraft, and the old cliche: to finish first you got to finish.
That is certainly true. Kind of surprised to see Alex White in 16th place, but he may not have very many laps at all in this car. But it wouldn't shock me to see him jump up at the last minute.
You never bet against Alex. Is he substituting, or is he just joining the series, which means he'd be carrying first race ballast?
Now, he won't be carrying any ballast because it's only the second week of the season, but I don't think anyone picked an Audi. Well, yeah, they did. He must be substituting for someone because all the Audis look like they're taken.
Thought I saw Alex in a Aston Martin.
I did in practice, but it looks like he switched.
I stand corrected. I see him in an Audi. Well, there we go. That's it finishes our 30-minute qualifying. And in first place, Ian Joliceour with a time of 131.6. And 2/10 behind him is Martin Walters. In third is Luis Nieto at a 131.9. Nice tight grid.
Yeah, outstanding. I think there might still be a couple guys on track. The checkers are out, but they get to finish their lap.
Well, Aaron Parsons just finished his last lap, and he's jumped from, what was it, 10th to 7th.
That's correct.
Aaron's good at doing that.
Kreshnik Halili just gained a couple of spots. See it?
It's interesting, now the qualifying's over, I see a couple of cars jump back on track. I think they may be just trying their race setup one more time before we form the grid.
Could be. Yeah, there we go. There's the end.
Well, should we run down through the field?
We should. Start her off.
Okay. In first place pole is Ian Joliceour. In second place, Martin Walters. Third place, Luis Nieto. Fourth place, David Pohl. Fifth place is Andrew Warner. Sixth place is John Ludden. Seventh place is Aaron Parsons. Eighth is Al Merriman. Ninth is Brad Marys. And 10th is Barrett Rolfe.
And 11th is Chris Moses. 12th is Iggy Giorda. 13th, Mike Trussler. 14th, Kreshnik Halili. 15th, Trevor Snowden. 16th, Alex White, which is kind of shocking. I expect he'll make his way through the field. 17th, David Zahn. 18th, Thomas Schubeck, driving the Volkswagen. 19th, Moses Caraballo is carrying a lot of weight, and 20th is Bjorn Heyman.
In 21st is Matt Taylor. In 22nd, John Houston. In 23rd is Jack Ivey. 24th is Omar Gomez. 25th is Greg Haglund. And there's your grid for tonight's race at Interlagos.
Yeah, let's welcome Greg. I believe this is his debut race with NAGP. It's from Chicago.
Ah, yeah, that did look like a new name. Get back to Alex briefly. I'm positive I saw him out there in practice in Aston, so he switched to that Audi at the last minute. So he's no doubt struggling with a undeveloped setup on that car and a lack of familiarity with it. But there's nothing like a race to get you acquainted with your car. I'm sure he'll be gaining some positions. We'll try to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, definitely. We do have some penalties this race. I'll go ahead and go over those. Last week we had a no qual. We got a no qual for Mike Gratrix for contact on the first lap. And that was the only no qual, but we do have some other penalties during the race. Jack Ivey received 15 kilos. John Houston got, well, there was no penalty on that issue. Then we get to Salem Montgomery, 40 kilos for an unsafe rejoin. And that's basically the standard for when someone has a crash and they come back on track and cause another crash. We kind of drop the hammer on them, so there'll be 40 kilos for Salem. John Houston's got 10 kilos, and Moises Caraballo's carrying 40 kilos for one event, which was not locking it down and causing a crash, and then 40 more kilos in a drive-through penalty for a second non-lockdown. So he's gotten penalized pretty good.
Yeah, and I referred to this as the bad boy list last week, and I'd like to clarify that these are mistakes made on track that cost other people car damage or time, and mistakes is the operative word. Nobody intends to harm another driver on track, and everybody's been there. Racing is a very difficult enterprise. Mistakes are made. You take your penalties and learn your lessons, and it's made better racers out of all of us.
Absolutely. I've had to serve my share of penalties, that's for sure, but everyone's definitely a learning experience.
As have I. Well, you're getting pretty close to the start time here. I'm not seeing the counter from my position. Can you tell, John?
Yeah, we've got a minute 20 to go.
I really like the look of this track. It's really well done.
It's a beautiful track. I've always loved this track. For some reason, in a sim, tracks that stand out to me are ones that have not only look good compared to the other tracks, but they have a lot of elevation change. And this one, the elevation just really sticks out.
Yeah, I think the most successful and classic and fun to race on tracks are the ones that are laid out over naturally hilly terrain like this one. But sometimes you got to build the tracks where you can.
That's true.
Okay, the lights are up.
There we go. 47 laps around Interlagos. Ian looks like he's got a nice start. Oh, we got a spin. Looks like Al had a slight spin and collected one of the Corvette. I think they both got going again.
Looks like everybody's finally underway. Moses Calabrano is pulling it off here. Looks like he's going to keep going. Losing lots of positions. He must have some significant damage. Wow. Two abreast here, running around 14th place.
Looks like a pretty clean first lap.
It's like, yeah, Ian Joliceour's stretched it out here. He's got a good 2 seconds already on the first lap over Martin Walters, so no doubt he benefited from avoiding a lot of the door-to-door stuff.
Saw Matt Taylor had a little slide in turn 1-2 section and lost about 5 or 6 spots.
Yeah, Martin Walters in
Oh,
third.
and there's a crash at the end of the front straight. Looks like Alex was involved. And Omar Gomez.
Yeah, Barrett Rolfe just completed a pit stop and is on his way out.
All right, we've got some idiot on the track. Yeah, it is I believe it's Ivan, and he's caused a huge crash. This race is probably going to be restarted. He's just being a total knob. He's crashing everybody at the front. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm picking that up right now. That's the same guy that was making a jerk of himself in the grass.
He got removed from the server and he came back on with an idiot name, and now he's just being a total jerk. He's getting ready to take somebody else out.
Okay, he's off the server for now.
Way to go, freaking child.
Well, I think that's a first for NAGP, is to have an unwelcome rowdy on the server just causing problems.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, I believe it was someone who was part of the league, and I'm sure is no longer can be part of it. There's pretty much no doubt about that because of the password to get on the server. I think he was unhappy about being removed from the server earlier because his connection was off. Maybe he's about 10 years old. At least he acts like.
Yeah. Well, be that as it may, we still have a race for the time being. I see Andrew Warner's in second place, and he's got the gap to Ian under 2 seconds. And Iggy Jordy had just completed a very nice pass into turn 1. Boy, this is a very tight battle here. Second, third, and fourth. And fifth. Between Andrew Warner, Luis Nieto, David Pohl, and John Ludden. Looks like they're tied together with bungee cords.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through the field. I was actually trying to get a hold of Al, but I can't get in touch with him. I don't know what he's going to do about the race. Maybe they're just going to continue, but that's a real shame. Al's in the back. I'm sure he saw what was going on. Alex is in the back. Barrett's all the way in the back. Moses is back in 14th. I'm not sure who all he made contact with, but it's just terrible.
Yeah, I didn't actually see any of that, but it will be well documented on the server replay file.
Yeah, he waited around on the straight in front of the pits for cars to come up on him, and then he started just swerving into them, and did it to probably 6 or 8 people before he took himself out and crashed his car too much to continue.
It's unbelievable. Meanwhile, back at the racetrack, Ian Joliceour now enjoys a 2.5 second lead, and another 2 seconds back to David Pohl. It looks like the guys have just kind of settled down here to their pace. We're 5 laps into this 47-lap race, so we've got a ways to go.
Looks like Mike Trussler's made his way up to 7th. I think he started around 13th.
And Brad Marys is kind of pulling himself up in 6th and close to that pack.
John Ludden's all over the back of Nieto.
Yeah, we're watching this from Brad Mary's windshield. Really good stuff. John gets it a little wide out of that last turn, giving Brad a pretty good run up the front straightaway. This is going to get interesting. Whoa. Brad,
Button runs a little wide, and
yeah,
gives
Brad
the
got his
position
nose in
to
there.
Brett.
Button gave him room. It's always interesting how the character of your race changes when you're running close with somebody that has about the same pace. In this case, they're both in the same type of car. And when the position changes, the psychology changes significantly from one of being chased to becoming the pursuer.
Yes, it definitely does. Just notice Chris Moses is all the way back in 21st place, so he must have had some type of issue. Maybe he had to pit after contact with the idiot.
Yeah, I noticed there were several that pitted there like about the second or third lap, and they certainly wouldn't have pitted that early unless they had to. I don't think, I haven't done the fuel calculations, but I wouldn't expect their pit window to open up that early. Do you know, John?
Definitely not. I think the pit window opened up around lap 15 to 17.
Yeah, so we got a ways to go. So those guys that had to pit early definitely had the race compromised.
Oh man, they had to kick someone else from the server too.
Well, they're getting good practice at kicking people from the server.
Well, this goes to show, I guess, if you're going to be a little baby like this, you're not welcome in NGP. We're definitely a community of mostly friends. We like to hang out on vent and actually hang out in person, so this is how not to act.
Yeah, obviously I think there's some mental issues involved here. Meanwhile,
I think Alex has parked it.
is that right?
He's in the chat. Yeah, he's giving me a little info on this stuff.
Whoa, Iggy Jardia and Bjorn Heyman tangle coming into turn one. That was not pretty. It looks like they both got away with it. They've been running really close here for quite a while, and they're back at it again here.
It's like Ian's opening up almost a 5-second lead.
Look, Iggy's got to run on the outside, making a charge. Nope, can't quite get it done. I think Iggy's got some pace on Bjorn, but he just can't quite find a way to get around that wide ford. Probably the widest car in the field is the Ford, the narrowest car in the field is that Porsche. Iggy cuts to the outside, approaching turn 1. Looks like he's ahead. And he's done it. Good job, Iggy.
Now Bjorn's got to run on him down to the next, to turn 3 or 4.
Yeah, this is not over. Meanwhile, that's enabled Kreshnik to catch up to these two, just to make it a little more interesting. And behind them is Thomas Schubeck, making it a foursome. Yeah, Kreshnik's got a good draft on Bjorn there, but just ran out of room.
So David Poole had an off, and he is back behind Brad now in 5th place, dropped from 3rd.
Yeah, Kreshnik took a couple wheels off there behind Bjorn and gave that position to Thomas Schubeck.
Pretty close racing with Nieto and Brad now for 3rd and 4th.
I'm afraid to move away from this action. It's like I know something's going to break here in just a second. Thomas swings the outside on the main straight.
I'll let you know if they get really close.
Okay, looks like he's cleared Bjorn going into turn 1. Boy, that Bentley's got some grunt. Looks like Bjorn's suffering from lack of top end. I wonder if he's got some damage he's trying to carry to the first his first pit stop.
Yeah, he definitely had some contact earlier in the race.
Yeah, because Kreshnis makes it by now. Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating than to be fighting for a position with a damaged car, knowing that you've been compromised on your potential pace. So what do you think, John? You expect pit stops around halfway?
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the guys will go in a little bit earlier, but you don't want to stretch the tires too far. Most of these guys are on medium tires, which are they're gonna wear out a lot quicker than the hard.
Bjorn just gets turned around here. I can't see who did that. Oh, I believe it was Trevor Snowden. He's slowing down on the straightaway to let Bjorn back by. Obviously, some unintended contact and showing some good sportsmanship not to take advantage of hurting another driver.
Very nice to see some good sportsmanship tonight.
It's like Martin Walters and John Ludden are in close company.
Oh, there's a crash. It's like Greg Haglund and Brad actually had it coming together.
Oh, he's in a bad spot too. Come on, boy, get it moving. Get it moving.
I think Brad came away pretty good considering the contact. He only lost a couple of seconds.
Well, we haven't been talking about our leader very much because he just continues to open the gap gradually. It's like it's approaching 8 seconds right now to Andrew Warner, and then a considerable gap to Louis Nieto in third, Brad Mary's in fourth, and David Poole in fifth. And behind him, we've got a pretty close battle going on with Martin Walters and John Ludden. We're following John at the moment.
Schubeck and Halili are side by side on the front straight.
What, again?
Again. Greshnick looks like he has him.
We got Chris Moses trying a move on Omar Gomez. riding here with Chris Moses in his C7 Corvette. And it looks like Omar's Porsche's developed a serious push. I'm seeing lots of steering lock here in the tight turns, and he's a little slow coming off the turns. Ooh, he locks him up into one and gives Moses a chance to close right up. Oh, I think that push that I was seeing is actually a problem with his internet connection. He's got some warping going on here. That is really scary when you're following a warping car.
To be fixed. Of course, he's a long way from the server, all the way in Argentina.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor. But we have Aaron Parsons all the way down under in Australia, and his connections have sometimes been marginal, but I can't remember really being troublesome. Yeah, it looks like Omar's connection is cleaned up for the moment. Chris is looking going to try to put a push on him and get close again. Well, hats off to my Monday night teammate, Ian Joliceour, jumping in that Porsche as a substitute tonight and just putting it all together.
Yeah, good job. That's a dream for Ian right there, is driving a Porsche around a racetrack.
He does like those cars, doesn't he?
Yeah, he absolutely loves them. He's been my teammate forever too. On Thursday nights, we decided to take a break this season and concentrate on Mondays. So Ian's out there doing a great job.
Let's drop back up to Brad Marys and David Poole running in 4th and 5th. Yeah, Brad's having a good run tonight. Don't recall quite where he started, but it was considerably farther back than the 4th position he enjoys now.
Yeah, I think he was in 8th. Looks like we're running lap 20 of 47. So some of these guys that have damage can probably make the rest of the race if they want to go in and fix it now.
Yeah, I apologize to our viewers that the trackside cameras seem to have some problem with the audio. So David Poole's really got it in striking range on Brad now.
Yeah, getting late in the stint might be a matter of Poole having better tires.
Or having taken better care of them, but that's very difficult to see.
Aaron Parsons is making his pit stop. He was in 9th position, I believe, when we went in, or 8th.
Yeah, we're not even halfway, and our leader is starting to lap the back of the field. Yeah, Giordia has got Krishna Kalili hunting him down here for what is it? For 9th position. So those are points-paying positions.
And Brad has lost the position to David Poole for 4th.
Oh, shoot, I was following them for a while. I was hoping to see how that shook out.
Oh, Walters had a huge slide. He saved it. Coming up on the last corner of the track behind Ludden. They were getting ready to have a battle, I believe, and Martin pushed it just a little too hard. Nieto's in the pits. I expect the pits to get really busy this next lap or two.
Yep, we're right on the halfway distance.
Ian's going to pit this lap from the lead. And he is away. Seemed like a very fast stop.
Well, I wouldn't think any of these guys would consider double stinting, would they? The tires?
I don't think so on mediums. I'll have to watch someone else's stop and see how quick it is. But I don't know if it actually shows from the outside of the car them actually removing the tires. Because I did not see that on Ian's car.
Yeah, it would be difficult just by observing the pit stop, except for the total time taken, because the fuel is relatively quick.
Here come a few more guys. I'll hop on board with them. Shoeback's in.
Well, David Pohl already pitted. He's 1.5 seconds behind Ian. He must have gained some time. I take it back. He's pitting now.
I didn't see David Pohl.
No,
I didn't see Pohl pit.
he just pitted right now.
He's in now. Okay. Yeah, and it doesn't show the animation of the tires being removed, so I'm sure Ian changed his tire.
We've got Thomas Schubeck exiting after his pit stop. We may have to give timing and scoring a little bit here to straighten out the order.
Yeah, Ian's dealing with lap cars right now, and it's getting a little dicey. Okay, that one yielded.
Yeah, lap traffic can be one of those more terrifying moments in racing when you, especially when you're leading. It can all go away very quickly. But I think generally we've got developed a pretty good group of competitors here who understand the importance of the courtesy of letting a faster car lap that's wanting to lap you, giving them room to continue their race. Some better than others.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, for the most part, almost everyone is really respectful.
And if not, they hear about it.
That's right. But you don't have to roll over and let someone go, especially if you're in a battle yourself.
Yeah, those gaps in the front have really opened up now. Ian's got about 12.5 seconds on Andrew Warner. And David Pohl's 28 seconds back. Louis Nieto 35 seconds back. I assume they've all made their stops.
Yeah, I would think everyone's stopped by now.
So it looks like Alex White and Al Merriman have basically parked it. They're still in the pits, I see.
Yeah, I believe, unfortunately, Al parked it so he could deal with the guy crashing people. And Alex has said that his car was horrible. Said it handled like a boat.
You mean there's some car that even Alex can't drive fast?
It's a shocker.
It must have been
That's
bad.
what he says.
See Chris Moses here handing Kreshnik. We're both a lap down, so, but it's for the 10th position.
Yeah, it's not. This track isn't that long of a track, so I suspect, Ian's going to end up lapping all the way up to 9th place, probably.
Okay, we're on board with Chris Moses here in the C7. Looks like he's got a good run on Kreshnik up the front straight, side by side. Nice clean move to the inside. Kreshnik doesn't really challenge him. Yeah, Moses definitely had pace on him. Trevor Snowden and Bjorn Heyman back in 18th and 19th, running close together. I tell you, it doesn't really matter where you are in the running order. There's always somebody to race with, and that's really what it's all about.
Yes, exactly. You have guys like Ian and Alex that can drive. You put them in any car and they're going to be fast almost all the time. And then you've got guys like me that are going to be a little bit, quite a bit slower in every car. But there's a lot of us, so I've always got someone to race.
Yeah, same here. You're always looking for a top 10 or a top 5 finish. But no matter where you find yourself, it's just like there's somebody you can just have a good time with.
Exactly. My goal is usually to finish in the points in the top 16, and if I have a good handle on the car, I'll try to get in the top 10 every time, which is really aiming high. But there are plenty of guys that I'm sure their goal is to finish in the top 16. There are to hold another set of guys whose goal is top 10, and then there's guys like you that top 5. So there's always plenty of guys who are going to be racing here.
Yeah, true enough. And one of the things I've always enjoyed about racing is there's a very personal aspect above and beyond the competition with the other driver. It's, how well you execute what you've got on race day, whether it's a car setup or a pit strategy or racecraft on track, staying out of trouble. You can feel disappointed perhaps about your finishing position, When you know you've done a good job under the circumstances just to finish that race, there's still, for me, a significant amount of satisfaction in that. And then other nights, not so much.
That's right. It gets, that kind of is in line with what I was saying about setting goals. You set a certain goal and you reach that goal, and you should feel good about that. And maybe next race you set your goal a little bit higher.
And one of the things about racing in a league like the North American Grand Prix is you get to know the other drivers on and off the track, and everyone has their personal nemesis, the person that they're close to race after race in the points championship perhaps, and use it as their benchmark for improvement.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I'm looking for some action here. Help me out, John.
Yeah, I've been watching Ian deal with the lap traffic. He just went around Bjorn and Trevor. I'll find you something. Like Bjorn had an issue and he's dropped way behind Snowden now. Or yeah, he was racing with Snowden. And, yeah, he's lost a good 10 seconds.
I think Andrew's found his comfort zone here in second place. 15 seconds behind the leader and another 15 seconds back to third. Consistency and staying out of trouble definitely pays off.
And so do putting in laps. I noticed in practice this afternoon that Andrew and David had combined for over 500 laps of practice on the server. It doesn't even include offline stuff.
It's a good thing they don't have to pay for track time.
Meanwhile, Ian, who's kicking everybody's butt, has probably put in 20 laps. He's just a freak.
Yeah, he is. But he's an awful nice guy.
Yeah, that makes up for it, I guess. Looks like the best lap times of the race. Ian's got a 33.8, and the next best is about 34.2. He's 4/10 ahead of the next 3 fastest laps.
Well, he may have a big lead, but he doesn't know how to let up. That was an interesting slide and opposite lock save.
That sounds about par for the course for Ian.
Yeah. He's only got one mode, flat out.
He's going to try to lap the whole field, I guess. Have you noticed anybody cutting the track at all, Marty? I haven't really seen anybody do any cutting, which is nice.
Haven't really been looking. Ian came about as close as I've seen there in the 1-2 complex, but I wasn't really looking for being beyond the limit, the track limits. But that's a good point. Be interesting to see what the cut review reveals. I know there's been some heartbreak in the past over that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you come home with a nice, solid top 5 or whatever finish, and they drop you a lap. Boom, you're 15th.
Yeah, that's something that guys need to actually practice and have a look at the replays to really get a good feel of what you're doing. Because I know at least a few times, people had no idea they were cutting and they got burned. Like my buddy Chuck, my Monday night teammate, a few years ago at Nürburgring GP circuit, he cut like 19 laps out of maybe 40 laps and had no idea. He didn't know he was cutting.
Well, that's called learning the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ian was a lot tidier through there that time. He does not need to be taking chances at this point.
Ian's gonna, if he keeps this up, the team that he's supporting is the Dominican Racing Project, which is Martin Walters and Carlos de la Torre. It's gonna give them a pretty good boost.
I would think so. I mean, Martin's a good driver in his own right. But, yeah, coming home first place points doesn't get any better.
Yeah, they're in 3rd place. And Nunez and Nieto are leading the championship after the first race. So they're missing half their team. So I believe Dominican could make a nice jump. Maybe take the lead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Luis Nieto on the server earlier during practice, so it's a mystery to me why he's not in the race. But meanwhile, his teammate, Luis Nieto, is running a respectable 4th. So they will come home with some points, but yeah, when you're missing half your team, that hurts.
Yeah, our 2nd place team, T-Brock Dam Bam, which is Aaron Parsons and John Houston are running currently 9th and 12th.
Never did figure out what that team name meant.
I knew part of it. I don't know if it's supposed to be a secret or not. So maybe I'll announce it next week.
Get permission first.
I might have to. I do know it's got something to do with the insanely dangerous wildlife of Australia. Looks like Nieto and Poole are not far from each other. Maybe a second and a half or so for that third step of the podium.
Yeah, I'm following John Ludden at the moment, and Martin Walters is like, I believe he's hunting him down, and they've got a warping Omar Gomez between them. And Omar lets Martin Walters through easily, so he can continue the chase. That's contending the 6th position. Looks like they both clear some lap traffic cleanly. Oh, it wasn't as clean as I thought it was. Looks like Walters had an off. And he gives up a position to Mike Trussler in 7th.
It's a good run for Mike.
Yeah, I don't recall where he started, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, it looks like Luis Nieto is making a run on David Poole for 3rd.
Yeah, I believe that's the closest battle we have. Meanwhile, the gap from 1st to 2nd is up to 20 seconds.
Yeah, I think Ian's in his zone, I would say. That reminds me, John, I meant to see about interviewing the winner in the broadcast room here, but I don't have the facility to move people around. And do you?
I do not.
Well, that'll be a goal for next week's race.
I can maybe message Al and have him throw Ian in the booth with us.
Okay.
If Ian wins. Oh, and Poole had a little slide and let third place go to Luis Nieto.
I saw that. We caught it. Just takes one little slide, and somebody who's been maintaining pace behind you will have that position. We've got 7 laps to go here, so I'd say that David's going to give it his all.
I'm sure he will. I've got word that Al will bring the winner in with us for an interview after the race.
Cool.
Looks like Walters is ahead of Trussler again for that 7th spot. And Trussler is back by.
It appears they can't make up their mind. Yeah, that's Aaron Parsons in 9th, putting a lot of pressure on Martin Walters.
Got about 6 laps to go.
Boy, Martin Walters is making the move on Trussler here.
Yeah, Trussler got a tire off in the grass.
Oh, and Walters goes off.
I don't think there was any contact there.
No, there wasn't. So Martin Walters falls into the clutches of Aaron Parsons, and the drama continues. like Martin's got his composure back here. That's one thing about this particular sim. If you have an off and get dirty tires, it can get real treacherous trying to get yourself back in a pace.
Absolutely. You pick up a lot of marbles or sand on your slicks, and it takes a little bit to get it off. And also, once they get it overheated a little bit, it's really, really slick.
Wow. Walters and Trussler back and forth here. Side by side. Meanwhile, having slowed their pace has allowed Aaron Parsons to close up here to make a threesome of it. And we have a back marker lap car just to make it interesting. Martin can't decide which way to go.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And there's contact.
Oh, I'm not sure what Gary was doing there.
Oh, and Ian was right behind him. Well, that's one of those worst case situations where you've got multiple cars running in very close quarters, and with a few laps left in the race, coming up on a lap car is definitely one of the biggest tests in motor racing, to keep a cool head and try to figure out exactly what your best course is.
Yeah, and that takes practice, just like anything else. The main thing is you want to be predictable.
And Aaron swings wide and interrupts his pursuit of Mike Trussler to let the leader go by, knowing full well that the leader will be probably holding up the guy you're pursuing here. So we've got 3 laps to go. Now, what does Mike Trussler do here? If he lifts to let the leader go by, he falls back into the clutches of Aaron.
Yeah, if you were going to lift, make it a very slight one. Or just lift a little early going into turn 1.
Yep, looks like he read that just perfectly. Let the leader by, and he still has, if not a comfortable gap, a gap back to Aaron.
And we just started lap 45.
If that Lamborghini had teeth, I think he'd be bearing them now. Oh, Aaron dives it down the inside there very nicely.
Makes the move on Mike.
It looked like Mike got a little wide there in that the crest of the hill. The car just drifted wide, and he was just powerless to do anything about it. Ezra read that very well. Martin Walters is caught back up to Omar Gomez here, and Omar moves wide and lets him through.
Ian's still sliding the car around a little bit. With 2 laps, or 1.5 laps to go. So Ian's starting his last lap of the race with a 22-second lead over Andrew Werner. And then 14 seconds behind Andrew is Luis Nieto, who's followed by David Poole a couple seconds back, and Brad Mears rounds out the top 5. Ian's drifting, just for show. He's entering the last turn now, heading onto the straight.
Quite a drive.
Yeah, it looked like a mistake-free race for Ian. Good job.
There he is, across the line. Ian Joliceour, your winner for tonight. And approaching in second place, Andrew Warner.
And we're joined by Ian. Way to go, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
Hey, Ian, that was
Grab a drink of water here.
that was a good job, to say the least. Looked like you had it pretty well, the car setup nailed.
Thanks, guys. Martin Walters set me a setup there earlier tonight. Kind of similar to the relationship you and I have there, Marty. But that was a hell of a race.
Yeah, John was watching you on the part of the last lap there, said, yeah, he's drifting it on the last lap. He's just showing off.
I had fun on that last lap, I'll tell you. Of course, it's easy to hang out the ass end. That was great.
Well, apparently...
Almost ruined by an internet glitch there. Guy hopping in and out, but I want to thank Al for taking care of that and letting us race clean.
Yeah. There was a lot more to it than just an internet glitch. He unfortunately crashed a lot of people on purpose. So we'll have to take a look and see what happened.
I don't know if you caught it, but he got me in the first stint pretty good there into corner 1. I tried to avoid him, and he got me, and then he got Luis, and I carried the damage there throughout the whole race, but just figured there was no point in fixing it and just carried on. And David Poole told me to keep my head down, don't worry about it, and it's fun racing with those guys. Thanks for letting me hang out in their channel tonight, Andrew and David.
Oh, great.
Cool. Well, congratulations, Ian. It was definitely a show to watch, and I'm glad that the interloper didn't seriously impact your race, although I'm afraid that for others they weren't so lucky.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to review that. It's a real shame, but you know, I'm sure we'll get it cleaned up there next run.
For sure. I was just commenting during the broadcast that this is the first time in my memory that this has ever happened. So I'm sure we will be able to prevent it in the future. Congratulations again, buddy, and we'll
Thanks, pal.
see you next time.
Yeah,
Way to
hopefully
go.
I can make it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks again, guys. It was fun.
So,
All right, thanks for everybody out there watching.
yeah, and if anybody wants to get involved in the best sim racing league on the planet, the North American Grand Prix at NorthAmericanGP.com, check it out. Sign up. The season is young. And although the slots are first come, first serve, there's, as you may have noticed tonight, significant substitutions on occasion. So check it out. And this is Marty Wren and John Wathen, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.